Hey everybody, in this video we're going to discuss the Interstate Land Sales Full Disclosure Act. Say that one 3 times really fast. Everything you need to know coming right up. Hey everyone, my name is Vojchehoske. I'm the director of Randall School of Real Estate. In today's video we're going to discuss the Interstate Land Sales Full Disclosure Act. It is an act, it's a law, it's a federal law that you're going to have to know for your real estate licensing exam. So let's go ahead and take a look at everything you need to know about this law. All right, so let's take a look at the Interstate Land Sales Full Disclosure Act. Now, for you home study students, you should be on page 51 and 52 of your Principles and Practice book. Now, there are some key things that you need to know because I guarantee you there is going to be some question, at least one, on your licensing exam. The purpose of this law is to prevent people from purchasing unimproved land or unimproved lots that are being sold sight unseen. Now, sight unseen means somebody is purchasing that property and have never seen it before. So they're buying it sight unseen. And the developer is presenting this as some type of great opportunity. So that's the purpose of this law. Now, some key points that we have to understand about the law. Number one, this applies to subdivisions that have 25 or more lots being offered for sale in other states. That's why it's called interstate commerce. All right, the key is 25 lots or more, including the number 25. Subdividers must register with a federal agency called the Interstate Land Sales Agency. Now, in Nebraska, they also must register with the Nebraska Real Estate Commission. That's also a requirement. And again, the purpose is to protect the consumer who may be purchasing these unimproved lots sight unseen. Now, this law is administered and enforced by HUD, which is Housing and Urban Development. And one last thing, it's a great key point to understand. Subdividers can't be tricky. Subdividers can't offer a portion of the full tract of land in an attempt to avoid complying with this law. So let's say they have 30 lots. They can't simply say, well, I'm offering 15 when their actual intent is to sell all 30 in an attempt to avoid the requirements of this law. All right, subdividers must provide a detailed property report to any prospective purchaser. And that report must include a lot of things, actually. Number one, zoning information. How is the property zoned and the common areas? Type of title that the buyer will receive. It must include the number of homes that are currently occupied in the subdivision. It must have the information about utility services and what are the typical fees and charges associated with hooking up those utilities. They must disclose any liens against the property, including any special assessments for streets and roads and those type of things that the owner may have to pay for. It must include the distance to the nearest town or village or community. It must include the types of roads, such as gravel, are they paved, is it blacktop, that kind of thing. And also the soil conditions, because that's important for any foundations or slabs that the purchaser may want to or may have to use when they're building their house. And then it also must have available any recreational facilities that will be available within that community and the duration or the time frame when those facilities will be available. Now, very important, and I have it highlighted in yellow. The report must be given to the prospective purchaser at least 3 days prior to the purchaser signing the purchase contract. Very important. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Some other protections that are built in for the purchaser. This is important as well, and notice that I have two time frames highlighted in yellow. Once the purchase contract has been signed, then the purchaser has what's called a 7-day right of rescission or a 7-day cooling off period. So once the purchaser signs the contract, they have until midnight on the 7th day after signing the purchase contract to rescind it. It's really that simple. It's a 7-day right of rescission. The other thing is, and sorry I misspelled rescind there, the purchaser has 2 years if they didn't receive the property report. But let's say that they went ahead and signed it anyways and they never received that property report, then that purchaser would have 2 years to bring legal action to revoke the contract. All right, so those time frames are very important. Now there are a couple of exceptions that you must know, and it seems that when I talk to students who have taken their real estate licensing exam that have had some kind of test question regarding this particular law, it seems to be in the form of an exception. So I thought I'd throw the exceptions in here. It does not apply to a subdivision that has less than 25 lots. Not 25 or less, it's less than 25, all right? If there are tracts of land that is 20 acres or more, they are exempt. And then lots that the developer is selling to other developers, that also would not apply since it's a commercial to commercial entity purchase. And then lots with existing buildings, and then lots that require construction of a building within 2 years of closing. I'm not sure why that last one's in there. I don't know why, but it's obviously in there. One thing I'd really like to point out here is, as a student trying to prepare for the real estate licensing exam, you really need to pay attention to those dates and those time frames. The 7-day requirement, the 3-day requirement, the 2-year statute of limitations. Those are the things that the real estate licensing exam really likes to ask questions about. The last thing I'd like to point out here, the real estate licensing exam loves to ask about dates and time frames. And there were 3 key time frames in this video that you need to be aware of: the 3-day, the 7-day, and the 2-year statute of limitations. So make sure you have those committed to memory. Hey, if you want to continue your studying for the exam right here, there's a great video that'll help you with some content that you need to know for your licensing exam. And if you have not subscribed to this channel yet, please do so. Click that little circle right to my left. All right, that's all I have in this video. We'll see you in the next video.